Hello, so this is going to be a tutorial for EYG, specifically 5YG. Before I start this tutorial, I just want to say learning this genuinely took me like 3 to 4 hours initially, but nowadays I get it first try most of the time, so I wouldn't say it's fully beginner friendly. I would just say please don't be disheartened if you follow the tutorial and you're still struggling with it for a while, because it's definitely one of the harder tricks in any percent, and it's not compulsory for when you're starting out with runs, so it's something to learn for fun, and if you get it down, it's really awesome to implement, but just don't let it put you off the game is essentially what I'm saying, because you can definitely get it with some practice, and then it becomes very, very fun. So for EYG, we're going to incorporate some spam sprays to get the fruits out of the ground. So to spam spray, all you do is just press A and R simultaneously. So you just spam R when you're in the air. So AR, oh, ignore that, just AR, AR, AR. And you can see the water is going everywhere. That is you spam spraying. So after you've gotten that, we're just going to head to Yoshi and see what fruit he wants. So for me, he wants this green fruit, which is in the corner, but for you, it could be any fruit. So I will post a map now. I definitely recommend just saving this map to your computer, just for reference. You can use it during whatever, during practice, during runs, just so you know where the fruits are until you get familiar with them. But for me, he wants this green fruit, so I'm going to come over and get it from this corner here. Once it pops out with a spam spray, there we go. I'm going to go collect it and give it to Yoshi. After we've unlocked Yoshi, we're going to use his goop and just spray this area here. So this fruit pops out, and then we're going to eat this fruit. I definitely recommend when you're spraying Yoshi's goop on the floor to kind of go very left, right, just because his goop will then cover a lot of bases and it will just be a lot easier to get the fruits out. So after we've eaten that first fruit, we're going to come to this basket here, do a similar thing. We're going to spray, spray, spray until this yellow fruit pops out here. And now we're going to do something called fruit storage, where essentially we're going to tap Yoshi's tongue off of this yellow fruit, and then we're going to get off of Yoshi by pressing X. So the inputs will be B to tap it. As soon as the tongue taps it, we press X. So I'll demonstrate that now. So BX. You'll know if you have fruit storage because the fruit will be floating in midair, as mine is here. One thing to keep in mind here, if you press B on the fruit and for some reason Yoshi's tongue is just going crazy and it's not hitting the fruit, like it's going up right, down left, whatever, that is not your fault. That just means the fruit is in a slightly awkward position. So all you want to do for that is just spray the fruit slightly with flood so that it moves a little bit, and then try again with the B and the X. So once again, you've gotten the fruit storage and it's in the air. Just get back onto Yoshi, and we're going to go over here. Then we're going to go in between these two stews here and let them, or have them, follow us. So this next part we're going to do is where it gets a bit tricky. But you've got this. Okay, so we're going to get this camera angle here and we're going to wait for these stews to come over to us. Now there's 3-ish things we're going to keep in mind for this next part, and they're all in quick succession. The first thing we're going to look out for is that front stew. We are going to look at the shadow, the little circle underneath it, and we're going to wait for it to come over Mario. Once it's over Mario, we're going to walk away from it. We're going to watch the stew bounce up about 3 times, and then we're going to spray just that front stew with Yoshi's goop. So again, we're going to wait for the shadow underneath the first. So this whole part is about the first stew, essentially. So we wait for the shadow under the first stew. After it's over us, we walk away from it. We watch it bounce up 3 times, and then we spray just the front stew with Yoshi's goop. So I'll do that now and I'll announce it as I do it as well. So we wait for the shadow, we walk away, 1, 2, 3, bounce, spray. So shadow, walk away, 1, 2, 3, bounce, spray. After he's done the 3rd bounce and you've sprayed him, you're now going to sidewalk through the purple platform that we have made. Again, this part can be tricky because your sort of the angle of Mario can matter, how far forward or back you are can matter, how high the purple platform is can matter, which is why I definitely recommend about 3 bounces, because that almost always is exactly the right height you want. So yeah, so once you've got this part, you're going to go to the right of this purple platform. You're going to hold down L and then sidewalk left. So I'll demonstrate that now. Sidewalk left, and you can see he clipped into the wall. Once you see that little clipping animation, you've done the hardest part of the trick, and now what you need to do is let go of L and just walk in normally. Just walk in this area normally. Just be careful not to walk under the archway, because Obviously, you'll load the level before. You really want to stay in that corner that you were clipping into. But yeah, once you've gotten that part, you've got the hardest part of the trick down. So hopefully that part went well. Once you're in here, you want to stand about here. I recommend always facing the merry-go-round directly in front. And also, I like to personally stand, you see where that greenish blue kind of shade area is? I like to personally stand to like kind of the left of that, like where it's just about starting out. And then we're just going to half hold down R this whole time. So Yoshi is spraying the whole time. We're just holding down half R press, and we just do that completely, just keep doing it. Now we're going to be focusing on the other stew that is now following us. Once this stew is approaching us, we're going to wait for it to just about be about nearly over us, and then we're going to do a ground pound by pressing A and then L, and that is going to mean that the half R press we're doing is going to then turn into a ground pound spray, and it's going to spray the stew. So I'm half holding R press, then I do AL, and now the stew is a platform as well. Once that stew is a platform, you're going to walk back here, spin jump, ground pound, and you're set. Do not worry about spin jumping too far forward here, because there's an invisible wall in front of you. So as long as you've started that spray and that section similar to where I was, you'll be fine. You won't go too far forward, especially timing wise. If you've done it similar to me, you'll be absolutely fine. And yeah, obviously it's in quite quick succession, but yeah, hopefully that goes good. Then once you're on here, you just tap B to turn Yoshi orange and hold forward. Last thing to keep in mind for EYG is the only place you can land is this green area. If you land anywhere but the green, he will be out of bounds and it won't work. So just wait for him to be on the green and then fall forward. He will go off of it, and then you can just go find it and go into the level. So yeah, again, that trick is definitely a harder one. I know I kind of went over it very fast as well to try and keep these tutorials short and sweet, but do not hesitate to comment down below if you have any questions, any concerns, or message me on Twitter or ask me in Twitch chat. And best of luck, just a bit of patience and you can 100% get that down. You'll be getting it first try every time before you know it, and it was a really, really fun trick to do. So yeah, good luck, you've got this, and thank you for watching.